How's it going, everyone? So we've got abcfinance.co.uk here. You've probably heard of the social credit score that people have in the UK to get mortgages and stuff. I'm sure it's probably in other countries as well. That's crept up in the recent few years. Obviously, it's very dominant in China, but we're going to read it as we're probably going to become more dominant now. They're talking about health passports. So here it says, could you survive the social credit score? We're familiar with the credit scores where financial institutions track how responsible you are with your hard-earned money to assign you a value determining the loans and cards you are eligible to apply for. However, a new scoring system being trialled in China. We all know about that. I'm sure we do. Where everyone's rated on the behaviour, kind of like that Black Mirror episode. You should go look at that because it's fucking scary. Where they're going with it. So it's become standard practice by 2020. And currently, this is probably where the health passports are coming, the immunity passports. That's probably where it'll head up. A chip under your skin. Because that's what it'll be. I'll do another video on something that I found from Sky News that they said about how it's going to be a struggle for people to carry papers and maybe even to get the phones out every time. So what's it going to be? A bracelet? A chip under your skin? Well, I don't know. But they're looking at it now. They're pretending like they're taking it into consideration, but we know it'll come here. However, a new scoring system being trialled in China is set to become standard practice by 2020 and currently under consideration in Europe. It's far less discussed despite the fact that it may eventually become an integral part of our day-to-day lives. How would the social credit score affect me? The system monitors a lot more than your financial savviness. Get ready for this. It involves governmental and financial institutions ranking your everyday behaviour, both online via CCTV monitoring, and has been dubbed the social credit score. Essentially, everything from the way you spend your money and behave on social media to people. So there we go. No more freedom of speech. Otherwise, you get a low credit score, and you won't be able to do things like buy a house, pay rent, buy food, even go out, because the social credit score's too low. To the people you associate with would affect your score and whether you are rewarded or punished. To find out how well you would rank under these conditions and whether you would be eligible for awards or social restrictions, take us. No, thank you. Is the UK ready for a social credit system? We conducted a survey to find out how Brits viewed the idea of social credit scoring. Our results showed that social credit score is concerning concept with 60, they had to get the 6 and the 6 there. 60% of respondents saying that they would change their day-to-day behaviour both on and offline. Well, yeah, they would have to, otherwise they'll get a low social credit score. This is the last time, guys, we have freedom of speech, because this is where it's going. This is the smart grid. This is what it'll be. You've seen that. I've done a video on it. The Black Mirror nosedive. Black Mirror nosedive. Have a look at that. That's where we're going. That is the New World Order. This even extends to who people associate with, as a staggering 75% said they would cease contact or at least think about doing so with someone that would negatively affect their social score. Guys, this is unbelievable. It is like that Black Mirror episode. It's predictive programming. Would the social credit score change how Brits behaved? Would you stop associating with people who lowered their social credit score? Jeez. That's scary. 75% said yes, 25% said no. Would your social credit score change how you behave? Wow. Ignorance at its best, innit? God, we don't know how these numbers are true. We know how the mainstream media like to change the numbers. rewards and punishments, concerns over social credit. 1 of 3 people surveyed believe that their social credit score would either be average or bad, meaning that they would likely face negative consequences. So it's not surprised that 78% viewed the idea of being scored on their values as good citizens with strong and negative emotions. To gain more understanding of what would sway people either way, we asked which existing rewards and punishments from the Chinese system would have the biggest effect on their opinion of social scoring. Fucking terrifying where we're going with this, and you can see this is probably the immunity passport, so it's going to head towards this, where that will become part of you and who you are, and it'll be your ID. Yeah, let's have a look at this. To achieve this, we looked at considering to be bad behaviour under the current Chinese system. This is interesting. 25% of those surveyed said they spent more than 4 hours a day with streaming television, films and video games. 30% said they had criticised the government on social media. Yet in China, if you criticise the government, you get a low social credit score and you get publicly shamed on their billboards. 25% of people admitted sharing articles online that they weren't sure were factual. 35% of Brits confessed to disobeying traffic laws when driving. 54% of respondents said that they had crossed the road without looking both ways. 64% said they would refuse to sign up for military service if it was asked on them. Now, so on and so on. Each of these scenarios, at least a quarter of people surveyed would be penalised under a social credit system operating under the same principles of the scheme active in China, and one being proposed in Germany. That's getting closer to home, guys. Using the figures as basic indicators of performance, the average amount of UK residents currently making choices that would land them with a bad social credit score would be 40%. So yeah, it would change people's behaviour, become ignorant, fake, no real relationships, fake relationships, because they want a high social credit score to keep their lives going, to survive. That's where it's going. And you'll probably get rewarded if you have a high social credit score because you're on the side with the government or whatever, or you're praising the government. That's where we're going. And I'll probably say that your internet search history will be under this as well. Maybe. I'm not saying for definite, but probably more than likely. Because it'll be on your phones. It'll be on your phones, and it'll probably be, you might have a tracking device inserted into you, or a bracelet. Who knows where it's going, but you can see this is where it's going. You just have to look into it. We've already got social credit scores anyway when it comes to getting a mortgage, for example. All right, thanks guys.